everyone. Welcome to Three Things at Three. I've got kind of a familiar face here.
Hello.
Whoa, it's like looking in the mirror.
I know, crazy, huh?
What is going on in the studio today, Kim?
I don't know. Stay tuned and find out.
I guess so. Well, you're watching Three Things at Three, where theme number one is something to
Smile about.
Good job. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
Theme
I
number
got this.
two
I
is
got
something
this.
to
Learn.
And-
Something to, yeah,
something
to
to
learn.
And
Yes.
theme number three is something
To discover. Let's go.
go. Hi everyone, welcome back to Three Things at Three. I am so excited to be here today because we have a really fun show planned for you. But before we get started, I know some of you are probably thinking you're seeing double, but I have to, you know, for those of you who don't know, I do have a twin sister and her name's Kim. Have you
Hello,
heard of her
everyone.
before? I don't know, like Kimberbell. Yeah. She was actually, the funny thing is, the plan was that
This
she
was not planned
No,
today.
no. She was not going to be on today.
No.
But she had to come by, her and Ryan had to run by the store
Yeah.
and drop something off to me today.
Yeah.
Well,
Guess what happened?
Guess what? Look at what we're wearing. Look at what we're wearing, folks.
We didn't get the memo.
Yeah, no, I know. Same exact clothes.
We
Well, I
looked
mean,
at each
pretty
other
much.
and just shook our heads.
We said,
Are
no,
you kidding
no.
me?
I said, you're going to have to go home and change.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
she goes, I'm on my way home. And
Yeah.
I was like, well, guess what? Eric is in the house, and he said, hey, Kim, you want to come on the show with us today?
No.
But she's here. So, too fun.
Happy
I
to
mean,
be here.
all the way from the black shirt to even the same pants.
The exact same pants.
That's crazy.
That's
but we
nuts.
both really love these pants. They're
Yeah.
very comfy.
Very comfy. With one of us likes something, we tell the other, here's the link, you got to buy it. It's
Yes,
so cute, right? And
exactly.
comfy.
Yes.
That's what happened with the
But
pants.
the plan is you never wear these things on the
Oh,
same
no.
day.
Oh, no.
Until today.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely
So
not.
anyway, we're glad you're here, Kim. So
Thanks.
like it or not, here you are on Three Things at Three.
No, happy to be here. This is kind of fun. And we have a live studio audience
Yes,
here
we
as
do,
well.
because this week is Tug, the ultimate girlfriend getaway. And can we hear it for the ladies who are in the house today?
Yes.
Let's. They're right here. Oh my word! So crazy. Okay, I'm gonna start to cry. Like, I'm so giddy about this week. It's just so fun. And to see so many people, you know, Tug does not officially begin until tonight at, I want to say the opening ceremonies. Do I have the
Kind of,
Olympics
yeah,
on my
close
brain
enough.
from yesterday? But it's kind of like the Olympic ceremonies. It's a big celebration, right? To get everything started. But all of these ladies have come in a little bit early and
Literally from all over the country,
Yes.
which is really exciting.
it is exciting.
And what's fun is that we've gotten to know so many of
Yes.
them just online through, you know, Three Things at Three, through classes, through
What's New
Kimberbell,
Wednesday,
and
yeah.
What's New Wednesday. And so to actually see them now in person
I know.
and put a name and a face together,
It's pretty cool,
it
isn't
is
it?
pretty awesome for sure.
Oh my goodness. So we are so excited. Lots of energy in this room today. We hope we can pull it all off for you. But I do have some help with me today as well. So we've got Miss Suzanne and Fern with us. Woohoo! Yes! Love these ladies. Oh my goodness, love them so much. And you two have been having your own little mini vacation starting yesterday, right?
Vacation? Yeah. Sure, we'll call it that.
Call it a vacation. Hey, I saw all of you with your matching pajamas, so
Yes.
I'm just saying. So
That was fun.
we have a team who works remote. They both live down in the Salt Lake area, and so to have them up here with us is a real treat. So,
We love
Thank you.
coming
It's
up.
really
don't we?
oh,
I
we
saw earlier
love it.
today you were unboxing a whole lot of machines, right?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yes.
50 upstairs.
Yeah, I was going to say,
50
yeah.
triumphs.
Wow.
100 machines
100 machines.
being unboxed
Wow.
this
Yeah.
morning.
Amazing.
And we have been going
awesome.
since before 7. So, in fact, we have a little teaser about that a little bit later. But let's go ahead and begin with all the fun. So, this week we have been talking about books. And it's one of my favorite things to do. You know, when people say, Kris, what are some other hobbies that you enjoy? Well, you know, of course I love quilting and I love machine embroidery. But there's really something special about a good novel.
Yeah.
And for many years, I would always, if I took the time to read, it was usually like a business book or a self-help book.
I can attest to that.
Right?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
And recently I thought, you know what, Kris, you need to give yourself a gift and just do something completely different. Why don't you, start thinking about reading some novels? And, I've had friends who've been part of book clubs and such. So this idea came to me when thinking about 3 Things at 3. I said, wouldn't it be fun to focus on a different novel each day for a week, and let's talk about it like a book club, and then let's do a project that was inspired by the book. So many of
Here we
you
are, yeah.
have been doing this along with us, and it's been so much fun to see, and hear about your experiences with reading these novels. So on Monday of this week, we talked about The Nightingale by
Yes.
Kristen Hanna. Beautiful, beautiful story.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we talked about The Boys in the Boat. Again, an
Amazing.
incredible story, true story. Today, we go a little more lighthearted, but still based on historical, events. Because we're going to talk today about The Giver of Stars
Yes.
by Jojo Moyes. And
I was hoping you'd say her last name so we could say it right.
well, that's not guaranteed that I did say it right, but I'm gonna go
We're
with
going with
Jojo Moyes. Yeah. Such a fun book. So I want to know in the comments how many of you have been reading this along with us. I'd love to find out, and I hope that you'll join in the conversation today as we talk about some of the different points from this book and some of the underlining themes and what it meant to you. So let's go ahead and get started.
One thing I've loved about doing the books this week
Yeah.
is I've never heard of The Nightingale.
Okay.
And it really, just hearing even all the spoilers, it's like, I want to read it.
Yes.
now. And I've seen the
So
movie.
the spoilers didn't bother you?
No.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Because
Good.
there's so
Good.
much detail that you don't talk about and so many things you don't talk about
It's very
that
true.
there's so much more there.
Exactly.
Yeah, and same with The Boys in the Boat. We've seen the movie,
Uh-huh.
but there's so much more detail in there
Yeah.
that it just, the conversation is just, okay, now when am I going to read? Because I'd rather be sewing.
But you have to get
audio
Audible.
books.
yeah.
For sure. So let's go ahead and begin the conversation by Fern. I've asked if you wouldn't mind sharing a brief synopsis with what this book is all about.
Okay, so I can't read very far away. So. Jojo Moyes is The Giver of the Stars is an intriguing story based on the events about a young woman, Alice, and how she marries a handsome man. She's from England. Marries a handsome American man, hoping to get away from her downtrodden life, and she was still a girl of
Means.
means.
Yeah, definitely.
But she was very oppressed by her family, by her mother and her father. And so she marries this handsome man, comes to America, and finds it to be she's living in a home with a very overbearing father-in-law and an unattentive husband.
Yes.
So, and through a call for some traveling librarians, these women develop just a remarkable and powerful relationships. And she learns the power of literacy from the Depression era community and finds inner strength to stand up for herself, which I love.
Yes.
And then these 5 extraordinary women begin the traveling library through the mountains on horseback. They overcome many obstacles by tackling these challenges together, which is another thing I love. I see that in quilting so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
And it's a story of love and of friendship, and of course books.
And of course, books. And
Yeah.
I think that was like a great way to, just kind of summarize what this story was all about. So if we think about this, it actually is based on historical events where Eleanor Roosevelt,
Yeah.
her husband was president at the time, and she was trying to help with literacy across the country. So this group of 5 women, it was almost like a call to serve. Do you think,
Yeah.
Suzanne?
I do. And as I was thinking about the book, I really enjoyed reading it. And I think that Alice was lost when she first came to the United States, but she found her purpose through service and by bringing books and literacy to others, because it expands their knowledge. It helps them become more and make more of themselves. And that really changed Alice's life.
Yeah, it
you know,
did.
when you think about it.
And this took place in the beautiful state of Kentucky. But they were going to some of the, outer areas where there were families, children,
Yeah.
even parents who didn't even know how to read or
Right,
weren't given
right.
that gift of literacy.
And were never able to get into town either. They just
They
lived up
couldn't
in
travel,
the hills.
yeah.
It was like
Yes,
they
to
were very
travel.
cut off.
Yeah.
So.
So why don't you share with everyone what were some of the books that they were bringing to these families?
They brought a lot of magazines. They brought a lot of books that they kind of just created themselves too. Like when a book would fall apart, they would tape it together and make a new book out of
Yeah.
it, and with other things. And then they brought children's books so that they could learn to read.
Picture books.
Picture books, and then
Ladies' home
classics
journals.
like
Ladies' Home
Ladies'
Journal,
Home Journal.
yes.
So they could
That's one of my
learn.
favorite scenes.
Yes,
So when,
yeah.
or just parts of the
Yeah.
story when
Yeah.
and that part. So if you-
So, Kim, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
I know you haven't
I
read
haven't
this
read
book
it yet, so I'm
No.
intrigued. I'm excited
But
to
I
read
did,
it.
coming from an education background, Kim and I were both elementary school teachers at one time. And what do you think literacy does for a community? I mean, not just a child or a
Well,
parent, but what does it do for a
It just
community?
opens up so many opportunities. It makes the world expand for those who are reading it. I think it's a great premise for a book. I'm excited to read it for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I think that when they talk about it wasn't something that they were met with open arms.
Yeah.
Right.
Really?
With no,
Why is that?
no. So why is that?
Well, the men, okay, no offense, but a lot of the men back at that point in time
Yes.
did not want women to be educated because education is power, knowledge
Sure.
is power.
Yep.
And once
Yeah.
they start getting information from the outside world, things can change.
I think that's exactly
Yeah.
right.
So
Yes.
they wanted control.
Yes.
But that was very typical of that.
Very
very
typical.
typical of that
Yeah.
time era, right? We're looking at 1936, approximately. So that's one of the things that literacy does for a community is that it does bring in new ideas, new thoughts, new ways of thinking, and through this story, these women have each one has been on their own journey and they've learned something different about themselves. So 5 women, all very different characters.
Very different.
Very different
makes it fun.
characters.
Yeah.
Which makes the whole thing
Exactly.
really fun.
So I want to know from both of you, who is the character you most related to? And I'd like to know, if you're at home and you're listening to this and you read this book, I would love to know, what character did you most resonate with and why? Okay.
We got Suzanne laughing over
I
there.
got a feeling on both of you.
Of the 5 women,
Yes.
well, if I'm going to choose a main character, it would be Marjorie, probably.
Do you think you could relate to her?
I think I
most?
could, but
Why is
if
that?
you really, well, I don't know. You may not know it, but I'm kind of headstrong.
I had no idea. She's a redhead and she's a feisty one. And Marjorie is a feisty one.
Marjorie's feisty.
Yeah.
And she's not a redhead either. But honestly, the one whose story touched me a lot was Izzy.
Okay.
because of what she overcame.
Yeah.
I know this is going to get really teary for me, but she's just, I don't know why this book touched me so. Oh, I can't do this on TV. But she had an overbearing mother, but they were very protective because she did
Very
have
protective,
it was a limp,
Yeah.
or a lame leg, and they didn't want her to do anything, but she did it. She rode those trails, and she saved people. When you think about it.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Why do you think she could do it?
Because the other women
Yes.
gave her the
Yes.
confidence.
Yes.
They believed in her.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
When she was like, I don't know if I can do this, because of her limp and everything, those other women rallied around her.
I love
and
it.
They said, yes, you absolutely can do this. And I'm
They
so
didn't
glad you brought
coddle
that
her
up.
at all.
Yes.
They didn't coddle. They're just like, get up on the horse.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's do
And then
this.
they helped find solutions. It's like, well, take the brace off. It's like, this is figure outable.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's all figure outable.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so Marjorie was someone you connected with. Izzy
Yeah.
was the one who you
Who
felt
really
you were
touched
drawn
me.
to.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Fern?
Maybe Alice,
Okay.
and because she came from a place where she was very silent, very quiet, and I can relate to that.
Sure.
And growing up very shy and timid and hiding, trying not to be noticed, because if you get noticed, then you get picked on, kind of thing. But just kind of, she came into herself, and she found that confidence within herself, and she was able to stand up to others, and she was able to rally the troops. And at one point, she tried to talk like the Kentuckians,
Yes.
and
Yes,
and they thought that
but share why she was trying to talk like
right.
them.
So she thought that
She had a
would
British
fit
accent.
in, very British.
Yeah.
And she wanted to fit in. And when talking to one of the ladies, she's like, "Are you making fun of us?"
Right.
And she's like, "No, I just want to fit in." And
Yeah.
I find myself doing that.
Yeah.
Changing a little piece here and there to fit in.
Right.
And I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
But you have to know how to ingrain it into yourself.
Yeah.
And
Make it a part of you.
make it a part of you, yeah. And like I might not, well, I can't talk like the British with a British accent or a Kentuckian one. But I love that she came into herself. She was able to stand up for herself.
Yeah.
And
I was just going to say
was-
that was something about Alice. At some point in the book, either she says it or somebody else says it. She got to the point of where, because she had a pretty nasty husband, which you do not.
Right. No, you do not.
But she was able to stand up to that and have the bravery and realize, I'm not afraid anymore. She's very young.
Yes.
She was
Yeah.
like in her early 20s.
Yeah.
But she said, I'm not afraid anymore. I
Yeah.
can write these trails. I can help save people from
Yeah.
the flood. I can
Yes.
stand up to this man.
I think her husband wasn't a mean man.
He was just so indifferent.
He had
Yes.
he had nothing to give.
Nothing to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel like her confidence was built because of her new knowledge
Her
through
sisterhood.
reading and the
Of the
sisterhood?
sisterhood.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
definitely.
Marjorie
They
gave her
strength.
that
They
confidence.
gave her strength again.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
it's pretty relatable in life,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
When
Yeah.
we surround ourselves with
Very true.
Good
With-
life lesson.
people that bring
Build
out the
us
best
up.
us and build us up. I think that's then we can gain more and more confidence
Yeah.
as we go through life.
Yeah. What about you?
Who did I relate to most? That's a tough one, but I would say probably one of the people that I felt very endeared to was Sophia.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now Sophia was black, and at that time there was major segregation.
Oh, yeah.
But these 5 women embraced Sophia, and they wanted her to be a part of their library. But what was the worry? Do you remember? What
Are you-
was the concern about Sophia?
That she would touched the books.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Not by the
Wow.
women, but by
Not
the
by the
community.
women, but
Yeah.
the community,
Yeah.
right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
she was really trying to find her way.
She couldn't go in the front of the library either. She always had to come in through the back.
Yeah.
Their little freestanding library.
Exactly. So I was very endeared to her, and there had a lot of, just feelings of just how unfair
Yeah, the
life
struggle.
had been for her, and so that really touched me.
But I love how they stepped in and protected her.
Yes, I love that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we have a few quotes that were your favorites. So let's take a look at those and see what they say. So there's always a way out of a situation. It might be ugly, might leave you feeling like the earth had gone and shifted under your feet, but there is always a way around. Who chose that one?
I think that
I
was
did.
me. Oh,
Well,
I can't remember.
Maybe
Yeah.
you both really
I think
liked
we
that
both
quote.
did. And
Okay.
it's like, okay, we got that one.
Tell
Yeah.
us why.
Go ahead.
Well, let me think here. It's just it's a fact of life. It's a life lesson.
Yeah,
You can either collapse and do nothing,
right?
or you can move forward one little step at a time.
Yeah.
You can just inch by inch move forward. There's always a way you can figure it out.
And if you need a day
Yes.
to collapse and do nothing, that's okay too.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Sometimes
Yes.
you need that too,
Sometimes
right?
You
Yeah, I
just
agree.
need to turn off, close the
Yeah.
doors, turn off
Yes.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, most certainly. All right, let's take a look at another one. Life is complicated, which is why finding a little joy where you can is important.
I think that was
That
you,
was-
right?
No, that was you.
Oh my gosh, we shouldn't have sat together. I should have done that at midnight.
Okay, I think that's kind of
Pretty
Yeah,
self-explanatory.
self-explanatory,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
Make
love
the
that
most.
so much.
Make the most
Yeah.
of the moment. So
You know what? I can't help but think about all these women who are sitting here today when I look at that quote, because
Yeah.
to me, I'm thinking, yeah, you've figured it out. Like you figured it out how to, just be able to be in the moment and find the joy. And for a lot of women who are with us today, it might be their first time traveling,
Alone.
know, alone.
Yeah.
And but you're here, and so big kudos
Yeah.
to you
Yeah.
for being here.
Yeah.
both those
And
quotes work for
finding
them.
out
It's
a
very
way.
brave
Yeah, very much.
because it would be hard to come to something like this alone and not have, a buddy or friend. But you stepped outside of your comfit zone and you're here, and I'll tell you what, you're going to leave with the best of friends.
Yes, you
For
will.
sure,
Yeah.
because you
Totally.
took that time
Yeah.
away.
Yep. I know. It's so true. It's
So the first
true.
time you did tug,
Yeah.
I came by
Yeah.
myself. I
Oh,
drove my
really?
motorcycle all the way into Sandy by
Yeah.
myself, and I showed up. And as I'm walking up to the building, I'm thinking, what in the crap am I doing?
Yeah.
Sandra's not going to be there.
Uh-huh.
And, she's my buddy, and,
Uh-huh.
or she'll be working. And,
Yeah.
and I thought, took a deep breath,
Yeah.
pulled up my big girl panties,
Yeah.
and walked in the door. It's like, okay, just smile and say hello. That's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And now I just kept saying that as I'm walking down the hallway and get up and get my little bag and I'm within a minute,
Yeah.
like Maria and
Oh,
Ginger,
yes.
and,
Yes.
these women
Yes.
are in my soul now.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that's what
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Fern.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, we have one more. That some things are a gift, even if you don't get to keep them. Maybe just to know that something this beautiful exists is all we can really ask for. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
It's a
Absolutely.
gift. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's jump ahead and kind of close with a few thoughts towards the end. Marjorie found herself in a real predicament, didn't she?
She did.
And I almost
Are you
don't
gonna
want to
spoil it?
No, you know what? I'm not going to.
You're not
spoil
gonna
it.
spoil it?
Come on, Chris.
No, don't spoil it.
I
I want to
have
read
to-
it.
Abby's saying in my
chanting,
ear,
"Do
do
it,
it. No, this one I'm not going to, because I want to encourage you to read it.
You guys are going to go crazy.
Because she finds herself in a really, really bad predicament. Some fault of her own, but some not,
Yeah.
right? So,
So much of it,
go, go.
so much of
Yeah.
it, the reason
Okay.
she's in that predicament, so much is the time period.
Okay, I
So,
agree. Yes. Yes.
It's the men saying, this is how it is.
Yeah.
And nothing you say can change that.
Yes.
And
okay. Now, and I want to be clear on something, that this is not necessarily a
Could I
men.
add to that really quick?
Yes.
It also has to do with, in my mind, it has to do with that the reputation of her family.
Yes.
Remember how her father was
yes.
and how they felt Margie was.
Yeah.
Because, so
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that's part of the reason
part
for
of
the
it, too.
predicament.
So I think that what I want to make clear is it's not necessarily a men versus woman book.
No.
Because there are some wonderful men
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
book
yeah.
who are wonderful, loving husbands and friends.
Men in general, yeah.
And so I want to make very certain
Not a
of
man-hater
that.
book.
No,
Nope, not at all.
But what it definitely is, it is a very empowering book for any person who wonders perhaps what their mission in life is.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think Alice figured it out, but it took a long time to get there. But
Yeah.
she did figure it out, which is kind of a beautiful thing.
So I'll put you on the spot then. What kind of, I mean, after reading it, did you feel inspired by it and what kind of takeaways did you have to do something out in the world?
Wow, that's a
Have you
really
done
good
anything
question.
out in the world yet?
Nothing. I just sit home and twiddle my thumbs. That's it.
Eat her bonbons.
No, I think some of the lessons I learned perhaps would be the relationship that the women had with one another, which I'm
It's
very
a big-
passionate about.
yeah.
That's a big deal to me.
Yeah.
That no matter where you come from, where you're at, what stage of life, there is a place for you. And
So it reconfirmed that feeling and
Yes.
that you want to do more of that kind of thing.
yes, absolutely.
How important it is.
I think it's super important, and especially this was back in 1936, but the same is true today.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't change. Those feelings that we as women experience, and the highs and the lows, like, we've got to figure out a way to be here for each other without judgment, right?
We need each other.
And it's amazing the impact you can have on someone's life when you take that
Approach.
and that approach to life. Exactly. So, and again, I think it reiterated to me the importance of knowledge and education and how important it is to the world.
Yeah.
And I love that. Thank you. Sable says that horseshoe. It's
Yeah.
so true.
That's right.
It is absolutely something I'm feel very strongly about. So
Yep. Always room for
anyway,
more.
Always room for more. Yes. So come and be a part of that.
And the
right.
theme of the book exemplifies what you've made girlfriends. That's
Thank you.
It's the same. How accepting you are, your sisters
Thank
and
you.
brothers, William.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Well, thank you. That means a lot. Yes, this is, Karen says she's just joined, wondered what books we're talking about. Today we're talking about The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. And it's got some kind of funny parts
Yes.
in it. Some parts
I
that are
hear
little.
there's maybe a little
A special
book or
blue book.
two.
There's a
that's
special blue book that might go around. Yeah.
Okay.
That at first I was like, oh, I hope no one judges me. Yeah, you hate to recommend that.
ladies.
Yeah, but no, it was.
You just got everyone to buy the book now.
Yeah, that's right. You gotta get
gotta
the book,
know.
right?
That's right.
What's that blue book about? I think there's just a special message about the power of friendship.
Yes.
And to stick by each other through thick and thin. And I think that's a beautiful message.
So this week has been really fun to hear your guys' takes on all of these books, and it's been really fun to see the comments
Yes.
from your community coming in because they've also been reading them.
Yes.
So I'm just going to throw this out there, Kris.
Okay.
That I think girlfriends should start maybe like a book of the month club or a quarterly
You
thing.
be in charge of that. That sounds great. That's a great idea. I love that.
That's what happens when you suggest something. You get to. You get to
Right.
choose.
That's right. I just think it would be awesome. It's really been fun to see
Yeah.
the response.
It has.
And see that we all have this connection besides just sewing and
Yeah.
quilting and embroidery, that, we can talk about things like this. I wish I had read that.
Yes.
But I look forward
Yes.
to doing
Yeah.
so.
There's your
Thanks,
copy.
Kim.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Thank you.
Brenda says yes, Kim. Okay, I think that would be wonderful. I would
Yeah.
love that because there's so many more good books out there that we haven't even we haven't even touched the surface. So
And if
yeah.
it's one a month,
yeah,
I could do that.
we
We
could
could
do
do
that.
that.
Like
do
3 in a week was
Let's-
a
let's
lot.
push it in.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we gave everyone a couple months,
Yeah, we
but it was a lot. So I think that would be a great idea. Why not? And if you weren't with us yesterday, I did mention this, and I think it would be valuable to say again that this is exactly what the new 3 Themes at 3 is all about. Now, some of you have been with us for the last 4 years when we've done 3 Themes at 3. If you remember, we did it on a little laptop.
Oh, yeah.
And it was on our desk, and it was our way of connecting with our friends from
COVID.
around the country during COVID.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's now been,
know.
as long as it
4
has
years.
been. And I know that at the beginning of the new 3 at 3, there was a little it was a little bit of a shakeup, like, whoa,
Whoa.
Don't change what we
don't
love.
change.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But to me, the real reason why we do what we do is because 3 at 3 is no longer about quilting, but it's about the quilter.
Yeah.
And
it's
that
the
means
whole person,
it's the
all of it.
entire person. And there is so much more that we are made up of as men and women than just being at a sewing machine. Now that's critical and crucial to the way I go about my days. I love it. I'm passionate about it. But I know there's so much more we can talk about as men and women that can help beautify our lives. And
Yeah.
so that's why 3 at 3 has changed the way it has.
Yeah, I love it because, like we said earlier, it's the whole person, it's the lifestyle, it's bringing, your loves of baking to then connect it with, a table runner, and then it's the love of reading or gardening connected to something that you're sharing with, your sewing friends and such.
Exactly.
I think it's an awesome way to go about the new 3 at 3.
Yeah.
Well, we hope
love it.
so.
We love
That's the goal. Thank you both so much for taking on the challenge.
Thanks for asking.
Oh my goodness, this has been
Stretches
fun.
us.
It is
It
a
does.
stretch, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's something a little bit different. And I'm excited to see what you have to share today because over at theme number 2, these 2 fabulous women are going to be showing us
yeah.
a project based on and inspired by this book. And I think you're going to really enjoy it. So I'm going to go ahead and excuse these 2 to head over to the sewing machine. And while we do so, we're going to take a look at a little glimpse of what was happening. This is for all of you out there. What was happening this morning at 7 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's.
Well, we're back.
Welcome.
And we've got something
Oh my
fun.
gosh, Suzanne put this together, and Suzanne is amazing. It is awesome.
Well, we've got a fun.
Sure.
Okay, the book's about, it's about books, okay?
Yes.
So we needed a book bag, and she carries a messenger bag on her
Horse
mule.
or mule.
And on their horses. So we put together, from the Kimberbell Blanks, our own little book bag.
Isn't that darling? And what is the block called?
The block, it's a pretty common block. I think it's an old one, but I've named it Rugged Trail.
Oh, I like it. I like
so, and we're not going to really specifically talk about the block today. I will just show you, I will let you know that honestly, all you need for this applique right here is a 12-inch block. It could be 10 to 12 inches, I think would work perfect. And so I'll show you how we did it, not sewing it together, but let me get that out of the way. So what you have to do is make yourself a block, 10 to 12 inches. This is my next version of it. This is Fern's version. She's got something a little more modern and fun. So you
can
make
tell.
your,
I like brights. She likes golds.
yeah. So you make your block, and then you're going to take a small piece of batting. I've just used one of the Kimberbell. It just left my mind what that batting's called. Project batting, yeah. So
thanks, Kim.
thank you. And just put this on there. It sticks well enough to that I just quilted in the ditch, a few little pinches, safety pins and stuff like that, and then this is quilted. Then you can trim it.
So you just quilted it to the batting.
Just quilted it to the batting. You could do something fancy if you wanted to. You don't have to.
There's this thing called blue tile.
Yeah.
Blue tiles. That's some
have those.
awesome designs.
So you could put that on here. So then you need to be able to applique this on there. So what you need to do, I just got scraps out of my bag and put this on top. You would normally trim this to be the same size, and you're going to sew, well, you would trim it to be the same size as this block. You're going to sew this all the way around, 1/4 inch from the edges, but leave a small opening so you can turn it just like you're doing, so many of the things that we do.
So it gives you a nice finished edge.
So you get a nice edge. Then we're going to move on a little bit. So turn that right side out, pretend that's sewn, and then it's right side out. There you go, it's magic.
Beautiful.
Okay, so we're going to leave that there. But this is where the tote bag comes in, and Fern's going to sew this for us.
If I remember.
Of course you do. This is the blank. It comes with, it's the large blank.
I love how big the bag is, first of
Open.
all.
Yep.
Because if you're carrying books back and forth to the library, I know my grandkids, they get the biggest books they can find.
Yeah.
They have the biggest pictures and the least amount of words. So.
Yeah. So what you're going to do is we're going to applique. I've chosen this green to put on this one. And the bag comes already kind of creased. I didn't press anything else out, but it's got a center crease right here, and this is the bottom of the bag. Mm-hmm. And this Kimberbell leather right here works perfect. So what I kind of did with mine is I just made a little line, and laid it right over the top, right there from end to end. And you are going to have a little bit too much. So you'll trim that off after we sew it down. So what I'm going to ask Fern to do is stitch both of these. I kind of wanted mine like a real close, less than a 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, just top stitch on this. So from the outer edge.
You could choose a decorative stitch.
You
could do any.
I wanted mine to look very rugged because
very rugged.
We're talking 19. Normally we would, it was 1936-ish.
36, yeah.
But normally we'd clip it down, but we did not have any clips today.
I think they're all over at.
They're probably all over at Tug.
I think so.
So I'm going to have Fern sew that down. And this block is not too bad to make if you choose to make this one. Again, you can use any 12-inch block or 10-inch would be plenty to fill the space. So we're having Fern just stitch that down for us. And I'm sorry we don't have pins. It would be easier for you.
I'm very figure-outable-ish.
Yeah, everything's figure-outable. And I really like that green leather. It's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I mean, I love this camel color one as well. But get that out of the way. How'd you do?
Oh, I did amazing.
I thought you did.
So amazing.
And we are just top stitching this onto the right side of the bag. Oh, Somebody's in love with your sweater, Fern.
Oh, you can have it. No, it's very hot right now.
Yeah. Yep, a couple
Thank
people do
you.
actually. Fern, how cute is your sweater? Okay, that's like 3 people already.
Well, I wore the right thing today,
I
didn't
guess
I?
you did.
Yeah.
I better step up my game, huh? Okay. All right, you got that?
Yeah, I just have to learn how to lift the presser foot again because
Yeah.
none of my machines do that anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
There's that.
So, yeah, here's this. Now, the next thing we need to do, we need to cut this off. I'm just going to take scissors, cut right along there. I'm going to turn it over, though, to do it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to stitch this. Well, we would actually applique the block on now. Okay, so that will be, you can save this for something different.
There you go.
Okay, so the next thing you would be doing is, so you've got this like this. There's the bottom of your bag. And we'll just pretend that this is already quilted and everything. Get that out of my way. And you're going to applique this on. I trimmed mine down just a hair so it would fit really well. And you're going to center it on the bag right there. I centered mine like it's about a finger's
your
width or
handles,
about
yeah.
an inch on both sides. It will actually have the edges folded under, you know, because you've already fixed it. And you will sew this all the way around, 1/4 inch from the edge, or even an 1/8 inch is okay. So it holds it down quite nicely. So if you look at this one, you can see mine is really close. It's not quite a 1/4 inch. So, yeah, it's definitely less than a 1/4. So that's what you'd be doing next. So let's pretend that she's already done this. We've appliqued that on. And then the next fantastic, easy step with these awesome blanks is she's just going to sew up the side, and then we're going to box the corner. All right. So she'll need to just kind of lay that as straight as you can. And
Okay.
I started from the bottom, from the
do that.
from the leather, because it just kind of pushes the leather up a little bit. You can start from either way, so however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Whichever way works for you.
I'm going to go from the top because I want my
That sounds good.
top to be even.
That might be better because you want your top to match. Did mine match?
Of course it did.
Yeah, it was close enough. But wouldn't it be cute with this one on like one of the tan bags and like pink leather bottom? That'd be cute.
Or you could do any, Kimberbell has so many different colors of leather and they come out with some new awesome fallish colors and yeah.
Oh, William suggested that you wrap a small piece around the handle as an accent.
Oh, what a great idea.
You could do that. You totally could.
This is why we love our
Like-
community, right?
Yeah. All right, you got them both?
No, just do
Oh,
it.
okay. All right, so we've got one side sewn up. You would see how, you can see it's, oh, let me turn that right side out. So she's got her. Now, this is the part where your machine needs to be able to sew through leather. We'll push that all the way out. If it doesn't, you could keep this flat,
Yeah.
okay? But we're going to box the corner. So that's how the green's going to look together. I think it looks great. I love
like-
that.
I
That
love that
green,
tone on tone,
I
yeah.
had no idea. It was so
Yeah.
beautiful. So now to box the corner, let's go over this. I'm going to spread this out flat like that. And I'm going to spread this, if you can see that okay, out like this. So I've got the side, the center.
So your seam's kind of going down the center of your bottom, yeah.
So yeah, so my seam matches the center of the bottom. Does that make sense? So we're going to go like that. And then because it's so
fairly thick, yeah.
If you can press it open, do it. I measured up, I don't have a little ruler here with me, but I measured up about 3 inches, 2.5 to 3 inches, and stitched straight across. Now let me get
Okay.
a little marker. And there's my ruler. Let me see if I can make that work okay. So let's go 3, 1, 2, 3. Right there. Don't want to
Yeah,
fall
it's
off my
nice to
chair.
give me a line to follow. Otherwise, they'll go.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. Make it as straight as you can, because you do want your box to, I hope you can see that, Fern. I'll do my best.
Okay.
Can you see that
Perfect.
okay?
Yep, I can.
All right. And then she's gonna stitch straight across here, and then we're gonna cut the excess off.
Yep.
Okay, you go, girl.
This is such an easy way to box and corner.
Yeah.
But is there another way to box a corner?
You know what? This is the only way I ever do it. So, I'm sure there is.
There is another way
Do you do it?
where you cut a square out of the corner.
Oh, that's true.
and fold
That's
it.
true.
So you're basically just cutting it first.
You cut first. Yeah, I get you. Did it sew through that okay?
Sure did.
All right. Do we want
Easy
to?
peasy.
Should we try cutting it first and then turn it out? Let's see.
Let's just flip it.
All right. Oh, it's going to be pretty awesome. Okay, so I'm a little bit close on mine. I probably should have moved it a little farther over. So that will give you the base like that. And then your block will be on the front. Does that make sense? And here, let me
great.
lay that
Yeah.
down. There. When you cut that
Awesome.
off, it'll be a little bit flatter too. So, all right.
Oh, there you go.
How does that look? I'm sorry that
Yeah.
I really do need to cut that, but anyway, it'll give you this look. And so, like I said, you can use any block you want, but in our pattern, we do have the pattern for you, which is going to be free today. And where's my front? Oh, okay. In the pattern, we do offer this block for you, so you can make that one. It's not.
That is so cool.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Awesome.
So-
That's such a great project.
I thought it
and
was fun.
So beautiful, and you can like totally make it your style.
You can make it really.
Yeah.
It's really big too. It fits a lot.
Yeah. And you could like make a quilt out of this. How beautiful would that be with sashings in between and a quilt?
Yeah, I like that idea. Well,
Yeah.
you know me.
We do know you. We love
any
it.
quilt that needs to be made, I'd love to make it. So.
Awesome. Well, that was really cool, and I enjoyed making the block too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I just
thank
think that'd be
you
so cute on the
much.
tan with the pink leather. Okay,
Pink
sorry.
leather, yeah. No, that's awesome. So let's head back over to Kris and Kim, and while we do that, we have what you missed last week.
It's a snow cone. Hey, did you miss any of our 3 at 3 shows last week?
This last week's shows were all about getting inspiration from the state fair and all the quirky things that come with it. Pickle Pop, it is a real thing.
That's right. We learned about making snazzy quilt jackets, appliquing on a cute new bag, and we got crazy creative with a popcorn pattern. Ice cream cone. It's
Yes.
a cupcake. It's cinnamon popcorn.
If you haven't discovered 3 at 3 yet, it is a show that covers everything quilting and sewing and your creative lifestyle. Just follow the links below to catch up on all the fun we had.
Remember, 3 at 3 is live Monday through Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, where we always have something to make you smile
Something to learn.
and something to discover.
Let's go.
All right, welcome back. That was such a great project.
Isn't that cool?
Yes, it is.
Oh my
And
gosh.
Brenda's asking, where do you find a roll of camel leather?
Well,
at my
my girlfriend's quilt shop, of course.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Online, yes.
Yeah. Kim, what did
think
you
it's-
think of this
Well,
bag?
first of all, how fun was it that you used one of the Kimperbell links to do it? You know, I don't want to rock the boat here, Kris, but I may just ask
That
them
was
to be on
yesterday.
our product development
was
team. What a great idea to add the leather to it. It gives it kind of just elevates the bag a little bit more, gives it
think so, too.
some more structure. And like you
Sturdy.
said, I was, you know, as you were talking about the different colors of leather you could use and pink and such, just the possibilities are endless.
Yeah.
I could see, as I look at this, so many different quilt blocks, obviously, that you could put on here.
Oh, yeah.
But what
Oh,
if you
yeah.
wanted to keep the base just the same and then have an interchangeable element of the different quilt blocks for the different
the pillow.
seasons?
Yeah,
that
somebody
you're,
did a pillow
you know,
like
holding
that.
your bag. Exactly. Exactly.
What a
With
great
maybe
idea.
buttons in the corner,
I
right?
know.
So
That's such a great idea.
yeah, I think that would be a whole lot
I
of
think
fun.
that's great. Yeah.
So there you go. I know, Suzanne, you are just a crazy woman at the sewing machine.
Yes, yes.
Pedal to the metal. You could probably whip out quilt blocks like this in no time flat for every season.
Right.
Well, it would be
Speedster
fun.
for sure.
Yeah.
really fun.
Thank you for highlighting our blanks, but thank you
course.
for sharing such a great
know.
project.
Yes.
And
Fantastic.
you just had them on the blanks on sale, so I know you all have
Yeah.
a stash of blanks.
There you go.
Yep, absolutely. And if
Love
you
it.
don't, you can find
can
it under
get
new
them.
releases,
Yep.
as well as the pattern. It's free for everyone. The pattern for the Rugged Trails block, as well as the, kind of a technique sheet on how to add leather for the bottom of the
Yeah.
blank, which is a great idea. I think,
Love it.
like you said, I think it elevates the project
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure. So, all right, thing number 3, something to discover.
Can I just
What are
say-
we discovering today?
Well, one of my favorite parts of that book was, I'll make it really fast, was a little girl who, Alice was bringing books to them. At first her father was very, very unhappy about it. He wouldn't even let her come close to the house. But she broke through with the father, and the little girl, who was like 11 or 12, she was asking, she wanted to improve her skills for cooking for food for her family because she had a little sister and her dad. So she asked Alice to bring her, I just thought it was so touching.
It was.
She asked Alice to bring her the Ladies' Home Journal because there was a peach pie recipe in there that she wanted. So guess what we've got today? I
Peach
found
pie?
Yes,
found
we
a-
have our
kidding?
Vanna.
Hey, thanks,
I
Sandra.
came on the right day.
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
I think it's,
All right.
Oh, yeah, you put it in your face.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
I gave the recipe to Fern. Fern made
Look
it for
at
us. She made
this.
2 of them.
Beautiful.
Oh
So there's
my goodness.
pie.
Well,
It's
Peach
tis
pie.
the season for peaches too, so
Yeah.
I bet
Yeah.
they're good.
It's like the recipe is 75 years old, so it's not quite as
Wow.
old as the book.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, it's from 1950.
Is this a recipe that's been handed down in your family?
No,
or?
I found it in an old, like one of the really early versions of Betty Crocker.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Which means
we
it
have,
was really simple to make.
Yeah, that's
Very,
right.
It was.
We have the recipe for everyone as a download.
Yep.
And they can find that under new releases as well. Mm-hmm. Is it a download or is it
Well,
just up there on the screen?
Actually, I think we did put it in. I think we did.
Okay,
I
so,
can't remember.
all right,
Yeah.
fresh peach pie. There you go.
Yes.
It's up there on the screen. That sounds wonderful. It smells
Chris,
wonderful.
we have
And,
forks.
do
There are
you?
plates in the
Yes.
other room.
Yeah.
We didn't get the
That
plates,
must
but we
mean
have the forks.
I think we should just all just eat out of it.
Absolutely. You
Please
don't
tell
have
me
to
you
ask
have-
me twice.
Do you have 17 of these pies that you just whipped
No,
up? Because
dang
look at
it.
this audience. They want
Yeah.
a piece of this too.
Oh my gosh.
Look at-
Okay. Do
Just
I?
do it. Just
Do you
do
know
it.
how scary it is
That
to
is
do
scary
that
to do that
on
on
the
TV
camera?
because what if you really don't like it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't think you can
You
not
gotta
like this
you have
one.
a game face on, right?
Uh-huh.
It's a
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Hey,
How do you think I'm
so
feeling? You
good.
made it.
just so
I
you know,
made it.
no double dipping. Okay.
So good. Yeah.
So
That's really
the
good.
other thing that I've discovered is we have a little blue book.
Oh my goodness. I heard about the blue book.
So I'm just saying, you
If
got to
you
read
know,
the
you
book
know.
to find out what
About
the blue book is
book.
about.
If you know, you know.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Guess we got to read it.
And
Uh-huh.
not everybody could get a hold of this copy.
That is very, very true. We'll just leave it at that.
That's right.
Okay, thanks for the blue book. I appreciate it. Okay.
Mike will appreciate
Yes, he will. All right, my friends. Well, we hope you. Woo! I know. Too much. All right. We hope you enjoyed today's show. Okay.
You never know what's
Oh,
going to be
Fern.
said.
Yes, exactly.
Fern.
Leave
Threes at
it to Fern for sure to come up with that. Yeah.
Pass
Anyway.
that pie around, Chris.
One bite each.
Delicious.
All right. Well, it's been so
just gonna
fun to
have
be
a
with you
little
today. Hey, just as a quick reminder, we have, in a few weeks, we have a really great week planned for you on 3 Things at 3, and it's all about difference makers. I cannot wait for you to watch this. It's going to, I think it's really going to touch your heart. I'm very excited because I have some really great interviews set up with some people who are making a huge difference in the world through their creative efforts. But I want to hear about you too. So if you know of somebody in our community that is a difference maker, big or small, I'd love to hear about them. What are they doing, whether it's in their own families, whether it's in their communities, what is happening in their lives that they've been able to give back and make a difference. So
I love
if
it.
you know of somebody and wouldn't mind nominating them, if you will, we'd love to highlight them here in a few weeks on 3 Things at 3. So just send us an email with maybe a picture or two to info at mygirlfriendsquillshop.com. Don't forget, shop has 2 P's
and
an E. There you go. Marilyn is asking, will there be 3 at 3 tomorrow with Tug going on? Yes, however, it's going to look a little different. I'm so glad you asked, Marilyn, because it will be Cindy and Sherry, and you know those two when they get together. They will be live coming from Tug just to kind of be able to share some of the fun, exciting things and craziness. Yes.
Can I just add one thing about Tug?
Yes.
If anyone is watching this right now and saying, what in the world are they talking about with Tug? Why don't you go ahead and give them a little recap?
Well, Tug is the ultimate girlfriend getaway, is what it calls.
Literally.
What it stands for, and it
T-U-G-G.
literally is. And it's it's 3.5 days. We sew and we create projects. We make all kinds of things.
Try
but
new
it's
things.
not
Yeah.
just that,
Yeah.
right?
Again, it's about that whole person.
Exactly. So we have entertainment. Every night we are heading on buses to the Garden of Quilts on Saturday, which is going to be absolutely incredible, magical. I can't wait. We
Tell them where you're having dinner on Saturday.
Oh, Saturday night we're having dinner at the aquarium.
They're going to be surrounded by sharks?
Yes.
It's going to be amazing.
I know, and I just told them they cannot have fish on the menu. I'm just saying, I don't want to see fish swimming around me and eating fish at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, who am I kidding? I would
Yeah, you
not
don't
be
like to
eating
eat fish,
anyway.
yeah.
But I said, as long as we don't have fish, give me something else, right? But yeah,
It's incredible.
Yeah.
You have entertainment and you
Yeah.
name it. I've been to a lot of events out in this country, and while they're all great in their own ways, there's nothing you'll experience like Tug. You guys, your whole team just goes over the top. The swag bags, just the full experience that you give them over the 3.5 days. It's incredible.
It's
And
a
the
little
friendships
different.
that are built.
Yeah,
It's a little
absolutely.
different. Yeah. So it's not your typical quilting retreat,
No.
I would say. So
Although you certainly do a lot of that too.
yes, we do. We're in for a real treat.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Mom is on.
Oh,
She said, did you plan on dressing alike today? No,
I
we did
wasn't
not.
planning on being on today.
Yeah.
This was a surprise to me, Mom.
Yeah. Okay.
Or I promise I would have called you.
That's right. All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much for being with us, and we hope to see you again real soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.